Hello, Mike Gorman. Great to be here, first of all, and I had lots of fun down at the show today. You walk around there, and one of the things I love to see, and I think it's a great experience for teachers, is to see the teachers playing and the educators playing, and they kind of suddenly you suddenly see, hey, this is what it's all about. And so the other thing I think I saw within the show was I do believe that a lot of the people that are creating some of these things are really starting to understand that we also have to nail down on some of our standards. I like to say it's kind of like maybe getting away from the shine a little bit, and still having those fun things or whatever, but also being able to talk about why it's good for learning. And so had a lot of fun talking with a lot of the vendors, and I'll tell you what, I looked at quite a few. And as far as I'm concerned, they all could have been best of shows. Just some great products. But what comes in first or what comes in second? I don't know. A couple of them, what I kind of looked for was what's different. What didn't you have in the past? Are we in a new iteration of something? And one of the things I came across, and they've been a player for a long time, is Veneer Software, and with their probeware. And what I really liked that I saw, and they told me it came out around February last year, is they've gone wireless with a lot of the probeware. And my first thought was, well, that's kind of cool. We get to actually do some experiments without those devices next to sinks and things like that. It makes things just a little bit easier. And it also suddenly that iPad or device or whatever you're using could be sitting anywhere in the room. It doesn't have to be anchored actually to the actual probeware. And I guess they're using I saw some things. I think they're going to be able to expand on it really nicely. I think they're using a Bluetooth technology right now that maybe gives them a little bit of limits. But I don't know. I just think, anytime somebody says we develop something new wireless, I love it, because as far as classroom designs go, I like classroom designs that put kids anywhere and let them move around, do whatever. And so hats off to them for their wireless link. Tell you what, I'm going to drop down here. I'm going to go to another wireless one I liked. I don't know if you've ever walked through that lecture hall and you see a couple little ladybugs sitting around, but I believe the company is Lumens Integration, and they have a wireless basically projector now that you can actually use to project images, just like we've always had, if you want to show something on the screen and whatever. And what I really liked about what they had was, this is wireless, you can move it anywhere in the room. Okay. And so if you actually want kids to demonstrate an experiment, you put that overhead, and the kids can move it around. It can go up to the projector. It really gives you a totally different view or look at what some of these small little digital overhead projectors can do. And wireless on that was just, again, it suddenly puts the kids in the middle of the learning, which I think is so important. Another one, now this one isn't quite as portable. In fact, it was one of the biggest pieces I played with at the show. It's called the Electroboard Education, the Prowess Interactive Learning System. And I think this goes up to, I think, even over 70 inches. I can't remember how big a size, but it's one of these LCD boards, digital boards. Take a whiteboard and suddenly be able to tilt it, turn it, actually have multiple screens on it. They have free software that goes into there that allows kids to interact around the board, using all different types of interactions. I even sat there and I thought, wow, the things I could do with this. I could suddenly have, like, the kids we could be sitting around in a collaborative group drawing our own mind map together, and then bringing in pictures, each one of them from our devices, and putting them in there. I just think that this type of thought is really going to go a long way. And again, it's one of those things that it's that non-traditional. It gets kids around with each other, collaborating. Takes that traditional classroom right apart. I'm going to go down to a game, because again, I think game-based learning has so much possibility. And I didn't get as much of a chance to play with it as I would like, because I didn't quite see their whole demo. But Mayan Mysteries, and it's Dig It Games. I was really impressed with what they were doing because, again, it was really standards based, but I could see where they were really pulling in some really engaging features, some things that really would appeal to kids, but yet bring the beef into what needs to be learned and in an interactive way. I'm going to end up with one. I couldn't find this booth. I looked all over, and it suddenly dawned on me that this booth was in the starter up area. And I thought, oh, wow, this is so cool. I get to go visit one of the startups. And so I went into, and this is called Notes Lab Class Journals. What this is, I was amazed. It was an actual, think of Google Docs, and kids can get in there and actually edit each other, but it's done in a way they call it chunking. And so what happens is these kids get into the process of what the writing is. There's not as much focus on whatever that end product is. And you can do this with a picture, a PDF file. And right now, I thought the cost was good. Right now, it's free. And so I thought, wow, I just love seeing a startup like that. I love seeing what I kind of call an original idea. And I think, we'll see where it goes. It takes a little bit to kind of understand where they're going with it. But to me, the minute she told me, she said, what we have to get kids to do is understand that writing is an iterative process. And I thought, whoa, somebody gets it here. And so I think that could be one that we might see as a little bit bigger here someday. And I hope they make it up out of that startup. That's what I had.